Okay, so I thought I'll just continue on from the last video. So obviously the reason why people don't confront things in themselves is because it's extremely painful and it's extremely confusing, to the extent where people might forget they've done certain things or experienced certain things, or they repeat the same patterns without even noticing. Okay. So right, so my kind of way I work is that I fairly early on in my life I just did not accept that you can't understand what's happening, and that you have, I always felt that you should be able to understand your own journey. Okay, and it's not necessarily understanding in a kind of logical way, but in some kind of intuitive way which sits well with you. And and this is something that I guess you've got to commit to. There have been periods in my life where I've just really not understood how a situation is serving me, or not really understanding the patterns within myself. And you either give up for a while and just let yourself be in that kind of unfulfilling relationship or whatever, or you can go the opposite direction to find some sort of certainty in yourself. So I think a lot of this questions about reincarnation and predestination and astrology and understanding the cycles of time, it can be useful, but it's also just a way of feeling there is some sort of framework in all the chaos. Also, getting reassurance from psychic readings and so forth, which is all things I've done. And I found it extremely difficult to hold on through this and just keep going until, because whenever I feel I'm basically panicking, I know my intuition hasn't got there yet. I'm not seeing the bigger picture, and it's all very, very painful, or it's confusing, and I get angry and frustrated, and you get a bit overly intense at people. But I think as you keep going and you basically commit to doing the things that you know you should be doing, I think for me, what I stopped doing is getting involved in community things or something, because my heart just stops being open to it, to be honest. But yeah, so I really had to increase my faith that when you ask questions and when you want to see the light in a situation, the answers will eventually come to you. And you don't have to feel ignorant about what's happening. You'll reach subtle understandings about yourself which will make you feel stronger and more in control, or help you understand, rather than being controlled, that you just understand the direction that your life should take. For myself, I've always wanted to be a scientist of some kind, but I don't know. I've had to work on how to do that while feeling also committed to developing my spiritual gifts. And so, these and previously I've had conflict between doing more political activity while wanting to take a more kind of spiritual approach to healing the world, if that makes sense. So things that feel confusing and contradictory resolve eventually with time and patience as your intuition develops. And another example is if you're in a job and you're seeing many difficulties in it, does that A mean that you should leave the job and do something else, or is it telling you that you need to develop within this job? No one can really tell you that. Different people, different answers will be correct. Same with relationships, yeah. So basically, I just want to say that it is really difficult to truly deal with yourself and heal yourself and understand yourself, because it is very confusing. But your intuitive mind is always working for you, and you'll gather more and more stability and perspective over time, and you'll know what's truly important and what isn't. And what I'm aiming for is to have enough just to have enough wisdom to truly guide my own life, to know how to that's it really. I think the end point I'm aiming for in any kind of endeavour in developing either my spiritual gifts or my kind of more earthly talents. But and I'm really glad I've stuck with it this far, and hopefully I'll just keep learning as time goes on.